Hey, what's going on, you guys? Final Boss here, and today I got Willwin. We're doing a little collaboration. I used to be in Alpha with Willwin, great player, big time hog user, awesome dude, and he sat there and pushed to a personal best. I'm really proud of him. Top 10 in the world. I got to sit there and watch his last match against the Lava Hound. He pushed him right off the back as soon as he dropped the Lava Hound, and he took down the tower immediately. But no short change here, guys. I did end up getting number 16. Sat there and watched it dwindle away from 12 to 16. And what was kind of funny is little story here and clip is that I remember when Will used to stream on Camcord, and so did I. And he was at number 15 in the world, and it was like close to end. And I was like, Will, just one more battle, dude. Just one more battle. He's like, no, man, I'm gonna tilt. So as I sat there and watched me dwindle from 12 all the way down to 15, I was sit there at 15 when I was about to hit battle, and I was like, then the words of Will Win hit my brain was like, no, don't do it, don't do it. So I didn't hit battle. So just kind of a little funny story. Will, say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right. So we got a few replays, and I think I'm gonna start from the bottom. Will, we're gonna go with the OP Elite. That was the win that I was talking about. We'll just go on ahead and showcase this one. This is the one that he got him to personal best, and then three, two, one. I'm gonna hit watch. All right. All right. So, Will, you wanna break it down of how you saw here and what you wanted to do? We'll just let you
Yeah,
start
sure.
off
So when I
first.
have this kind of starting hand, I always start off the Mega Minion in the back like that. But if I have like Archers and Mega Minion, I always do Mega Minion. Some people like to split the Archers, but I don't. And then I got that out of the way real quick because I wanted to run the hog on the right side with the Mega Minion. Now I got a pretty good early start here. That was a pretty bad Mega Minion by him. I got lucky with that, and my Mega Minion was able to take his out. Now I just got to take care of the Lava Hound. It isn't that bad, just the pumps you got to watch out for. Now, since in the minor, I take that out as quick as possible. Ice Bomb is great for defending minions, pumps, and into Elixir, same thing as the sap essentially. And now, 2 minutes left, and I'm just thinking, alright, that tower just needs one fireball, so I just need to defend for the next 2 minutes. And I'm going to get like 30 trophies, and I knew in my head that would give me top 10 global with like 5 minutes left in the season, so I'm trying pretty hard right now. I think he's going to play a Lava Hound next in the back left, if I remember right. Now he's going to switch up sides. The classic, just with this deck, setting in the hog and then logging the tombstone is just a classic move, and I think the timing is key. You want that log to hit the tombstone as soon as your hog took one hit out of it, because if your hog got one hit on the tombstone, a log's going to kill the tombstone plus all the skeletons, and you want to do that as close as possible to the first hog hit.
I think it's so funny sometimes. Sometimes I'll throw the log out and it'll be like, like you're premeditating it, and then like the one of the little Larrys will just kind of like push your hog to the side and it'll like delay the hit on it. And so then you like actually log like way before than you actually needed to.
Yep, so if you do the early log with that, it's going to suck because then you're going to have those like 5 skeletons at the end that are going to like kill your hog in seconds. Alright, so pretty easy defend that time. I think I get into a little bit with this one. I think this one, I get a little scared on. He rushes the opposite side as well. Didn't really know what he did.
This guy's a really good player. It was one of the better Lava Hound deck users I've seen. I gotta give a big shout out to my boy iPad the Pro Gamer. The guy was just crushing it. I think he finished at number 40 in global with a level 3 Lava Hound and a level 3 miner. I think that's just, I mean, if he had that kind of caliber right here, that was really easy, man. He almost got you on that push there at the end.
Yeah, I got a little scared. It was definitely closer than it needed to be, and I definitely agree. I saw I throw up there in the leaderboard. I'm pretty impressed with that.
Yeah. I think in the beginning, whenever he dropped the Lava Hound, you had the Mega coming his way. What made you want to go on ahead and push that same lane whenever you saw the Lava Hound with the Ice Golem and the Hog Typically, I think if I saw that scenario, I'd probably go on ahead and push the other lane just so you can't let them build up a big push. You're so fearless.
Yeah, I think the only reason I did it this game is just because I knew I had that one tower, and I just wanted to play really hard defense instead of going the other lane. I do agree, though. I think the best way to handle a Lava Hound is to just not do anything to it at all, and then just throw on a Zap or an Ice Golem when the pups come out. But I was playing a little differently just because I had that tower down at the 290 HP mark.
Nice. Yeah, I liked it. I watched it and I was like, dude, he dropped the lava and I was like, that was a tower. It didn't even seem like he did anything to it. But I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't have anything. So that was kind of cool to see. I got glad to get to see the replay of what was actually going on. We're gonna go to that second replay, the Nova one, in 3, 2, 1. We're hitting watch. Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I haven't had really much problems with the Golem decks at all. I mean, people are like, it seems like doesn't have enough defense, and I'm like, it seems to have enough defense because what you do is just keep pushing because this deck cycles so quickly that it's like, you can throw down 2 tombstones even if he, fireballs it or logs it or whatever. It's and you just keep the pressure on him, just not to let him have a 20,000 million elixir push on him.
Right. Yeah, I think that he would final boss, and the deck is so quick at cycling that you always want to go for the opposite tower that they're pushing. You don't just like I got that tower down just now, like 1500 HP. If he starts pushing the left side, I'm gonna go to the right side.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do it in this particular instance. I think he gets me good right here, but we'll see. I forget what I did. This game was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so there I go. I put the Mega Minion on the right side. You don't want to build up too much stuff on the left side. You see how he has that lightning up there? So
yeah.
The more stuff you're throwing down on the left, the more value you're going to get him with that lightning. So you want to do is split put possible. So now I'm going to get some damage with that Mega Minion on the top, right? It's only 2 hits, but 2 hits from a Mega Minion does a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's what is that? That's almost 700 damage right there.
Yeah, so it's a good amount of damage. He does get me pretty good here.
Yeah, he almost crushed you right there on one push.
Yeah, he almost got my entire tower, but I knew in my head it's not over yet.
Oh man, a Nova guy giving you the BM? No way.
Yeah, this guy always. Well, I don't know about this guy. The other guy does.
It's hard to tell with him. So a lot of guys.
Push again. Pretty standard.
A lot of guys always ask me like, where do you get your decks from and how you do that. So how do you? I know you keep your eyeball on certain people that are playing Hog. Do you just look through the top 200 and see who's playing what, or do you work on making your own decks or?
No, it's really rare that I'm gonna make my own decks. I usually just look at the top Hog players and I check their decks. I usually look for something with Hog because my account doesn't have the right type of cards to play max epic decks. So I usually do look for the Hog decks, and I don't think I play this game as much as other people. So I'm usually just stealing decks. that's my thing, and then I perfect them. I play them a lot. I get the timing down.
You're like the copycat ninja, man. I swear, like from Naruto.
So I got him pretty good. I made him waste the lightning on taking my tower down at the 100 health. So now I'm BMing him now. He was BMing me earlier. I usually don't BM unless they do it first.
Will's a really nice guy, guys, and I never really ever see him BM too much. And dude, that one was good. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
so I think the lesson learned here is don't be the jerk face that BMs and calls good game earlier and rubs it in your face. You might trigger the other player that's relatively good at the game.
He definitely triggered me. I was a little bit bad. I was scheming, and I'm like, you know what? I got this little guy. I'm just gonna wait for him to send in a couple more things and lock him down.
All right. Let's look at the Elu deck, man. I tell you what, this deck is... I don't have very nice things to say about this deck.
Yeah, this is not an easy deck to play against, especially with our deck. I think
No,
I use it.
it's not.
Lose to this deck. 60% of the time, I'm gonna lose to this.
Yeah, it's not good. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I played it. I played it earlier with not the greatest results, and then I beat it the very next game, which would now scratch my head. And I don't know. I felt very emotion. I had certain emotions about this deck for sure.
I usually try to stick that Ice Spirit in front of the Hog. I know some players put it behind because you could potentially get the Ice Spirit zapped and then it'll get killed by the tower before it does anything. But I'm a fan of putting it in the front.
Nice.
Pretty standard defense here. He has a level 5 miner. Not too much I could do.
I sneezed earlier and it was pretty cool, man. I had like some archers down and then I did a hog push and I meant to put it, like a typical hog push. And I sneezed and then I put my ice spirit down late and I was like, oh crap. And then it came down late and it jumped on the archers and then it was the archers and the hog took down the whole entire tower. It was pretty dope. So sometimes maybe you want to put the ice spirit 2 tiles behind the hog,
Yeah, so I think the moral is just sneeze a lot when you put
There you go.
Clash Royale.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, exactly. Better be lucky than have skill. So, like, guys, I always stick in the Ice Spirit whenever I can. It's 2 elixir, and by playing that Ice Spirit, I'm forcing out a lot of his cards. And meanwhile, I'm getting a ton of damage. I just got, I think, like 2,000 damage, 3,000 damage on that tower.
9,000. 9,000.
Seems like a reasonable calculation. But yeah, moral, I always throw in that Ice Spirit. I mean, the Ice Golem, just the 4,000. It's so cheap, you could just start throwing it in anywhere you want.
Dude,
really versatile.
Honestly, man, the Ice Golem's the new Valkyrie from our trifecta days, to be real.
Yeah, I think the Ice Golem is one of the strongest cards besides the Ice Spirit right now. And it used to be the Valk, the Musketeer. I feel like this guy's just gonna... Now I'm getting a little smart now. I just tricked last time. I'm like, all right, I'm playing the graveyard. I'm gonna defend his mine with the archers.
Did you were you being a dirty gemmer there?
And I'm like, oh god, I'm like that tower.
Were you being a dirty gemmer there, and or did you go on ahead and play challenges for the Ice Golem?
Oh, I gemmed it. I gemmed up my Ice Golem. It was $100, and I think I bought about 5 giant chests. So I think that's the key. If you want to max out rares, you just spend $100 and buy a ton of giant chests.
I know Joe Mike was earlier.
You can also grind the grand challenges, but I don't really play this game like I said, so I got to do that.
Like you're so modest, Will. Right. You're like, I don't even play this game, yeah, so, and I got top 10 in the world.
I was that one really carefully.
Yeah. Will, you're breaking up, dude. You're breaking up pretty bad.
Is it better?
Yeah, a lot better.
Alright, yeah, so that one, it was definitely kind of close, and I knew all he needed was about 3 or 4 minor hits and a rock to finish me off. So I made sure I saved my Ice Spirit, because if you got the Ice Spirit, you can pretty much ensure that the minor that they send in will get no hits. Actually,
it looks like what saved you the game there was actually putting the archers on the minor there, because I mean, if the minor got the chips there, it was GG.
Yeah, and I definitely don't recommend that. Usually I recommend playing
to the side
archers on them. But this was an exception just because it was pretty much the end of the game and I didn't really have a good way to defend the minor with the deck. It's either the archers or the ice. Nothing else is going to stop the minor from getting the chip damage. So I'm like, all right, I got to do the archers. I'm sure he can't knock me down.
Dude, that guy finished 38 global with that deck.
Yep, so definitely not an easy deck to beat.
Nope.
I don't like playing.
No, I wouldn't enjoy that. I don't enjoy that. Hopefully that doesn't become a meta and that's being played every single game. I'll probably cry a little bit. All right, so we got one more. We got with Black Zero. Black Zero is a stud. That guy is good. And 3, 2, 1. This guy's always playing a really good minor deck. If you guys are ever looking for a good minor deck, go on ahead and give him a little love. Check him out on the leaderboards or check him out in Revolt as well. there's certain players that are very good with certain type decks, and those are kind of like how Will was saying, like, if he's not playing a lot, and the hog meta changes probably or not probably, the hog meta actually changes more than any other deck in the entire game. I know I thought that did you start playing the Oregon Beaver deck and then that just kind of became the meta?
Yes, I think I was the first one who realized how powerful the Oregon Beaver deck was. Because I saw on leaderboards Oregon pushed up I think top 20 US as a level 11, which is unheard of. But I got these name cards and I started playing it, and I think I put top 10 global no problem, and then that meta just.
Well, when I was a level 11 back in the day, me and Oregon Beaver were the highest level 11s in the world. That was a terrible scarmy on his part there. Me and Oregon Beaver were the highest level 11s in the world. I mean, I'll still sit here and praise him, but I think that whole thing where his deck got used heavily, I think it crushed his soul. his secret was out. The sauce was out.
Poor Oregon.
Yeah, poor
I
Oregon.
think he did get a lot of props for that.
He did get props, and I was trying to say even in our videos of doing that. I'd be honest, man. I really do not like using barbarians with hog. It's kind of like my thing. I don't know what it is, but I know that you and Bright and other people were having some great success with it. So
Yep. So Final Boss said before, he did play a really bad build at one point. If you say that it's going to take one better players.
hey, Will, you're breaking up again, man. Sorry, guys, we're having a little technical difficulties.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so I got lucky before he played a bad skeleton army. This guy is probably one of the best miner players in the game, I would say. I definitely don't enjoy when I see a matchup against Black Zero. Another thing I don't enjoy is my log is only level 3, and this guy has maxed out princesses, so my log won't kill his princesses. It made it a little bit extra tricky for me this game, but I did manage to roll it out. Now you can see I don't normally do this, but I started playing Graveyard of half of my tower, and that's just because I know all he has is Miner, and the Tombstone is going to. I think I said Graveyard. Tombstone's going to defend that well.
Jesus, Will, your mic's really something's going in and out with your phone. I don't know what it is, dude.
Probably my internet connection.
Stupid internet. Well, at least it's not mid-game. Yeah, I think what was it? The previous season in one of my videos, I showcased a one against me and Black Zero, and literally he had a goblin barrel being thrown as my hog was being dropped in top center, and this goblin was about to stab for the win, and one goblin was left. It was about to stab. I slowed it down, and the knife was coming into the tower. And my hog hits him with the hammer. I mean, and at that point, the game was so close. It was just one of those games that you just know that you're completely done with. So, let's go on ahead and look. We're going to go on ahead and do one more. I noticed I've been doing a lot of really long ones. We're going to look at the Be Normal one.
Okay.
Should we look at the Be Normal one or go neck? Your call.
Yeah, we could. I think we should take a look at the Be.
Okay.
I think that's me playing against the same deck. You can kind of see
okay.
how you can play somebody.
I'm going to let you have this one, a whole 100% in 3, 2, 1, and just let you kind of break it down and give you some tips because I've already made about 3 or 4 videos already on this deck. So I'm sure everybody's ready to start playing a new deck, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there'll be a new Hog deck out next season. Like I said, I was using Hog Lightning the previous one.
Yeah.
So Hog Ice Golem coming down. He decides to go with the.
Yep. So that's a pretty good start there. I knew my Ice Golem would take care of his skeletons. Max out. Ice Golem takes max skeletons. I logged that pretty quickly. I knew I could take out one Archer, Ice Spirit. Now he's getting pretty aggressive, I would say, with that Fireball. I think that was an aggressive Fireball, so I know I can probably come back right now and do a pretty good counter rush.
It actually wasn't. You guys were about the same elixir. You just started off aggressive, and then like he counter pushed. He's like he's being aggressive. I'm like, well, no, you guys are about the same elixir. Oh, okay, well, all right then.
I feel like as I was watching that, it seemed aggressive to me. I got a nice log there, right there. I killed this ice spirit before it attached to my hog.
Better to be lucky than good, baby.
Yeah, that's better than lucky than be skilled. That was definitely lucky. I'm gonna ice spirit him. I think the key.
How you get so lucky, man? Is there like a trick, like up, down, down, left, right, or something like that, or what?
Just right before you start playing Clash Royale, you just look up and just say, please let me play a couple games. And
please don't let the log hit my ice spirit. Let it be 2 tiles away.
I do think the key is timing these logs right, like right there. And I got lucky again. Okay, so I didn't get lucky. He just misplayed it. I think one key with this deck is you never want to play the archers right behind your graveyard. And if you watch how I place my archers, it's always on the right
Tombstone. Tombstone.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Tombstone. Sorry. Guys, I get that as part a lot.
It's all right. I was watching somebody else earlier, and he kept calling it graveyard as well.
Yeah, it just looks so like this guy.
It's a great value, dude. You're getting so much value on these pushes here.
Right. I just don't keep playing the deck right. He keeps on playing cards near his graveyard. You never want to play cards near your graveyard. That's why my archers are on the right, my graveyard's on the left. There I did play the Mega Minion there, but there's exceptions to all these rules. The general rule of thumb, though, is you should do that.
So this really carries over from the old trifecta days. Excuse me. It carries over from the old trifecta days because if you put the cannon over on the left side, you're putting the musket on the right side. So you can't get value there with the poison or anything else.
Right. Exactly.
So a lot of the concepts here, if you guys are in lower arenas and are still wanting to do hog decks, trifecta is still a really great deck, and it's still the same concept, still play. It's just a lot slower gameplay. So you're still playing very smart and very slow as well. It's a little bit different, but Will, you've always been aggressive. Like I've always thought you were like a super aggressive hog guy. How do you feel about that? Because it seems like you're always very aggressive on the first push, and then how do you feel about how much elixir is too much elixir on the first push, or I don't think you ever started off. Did you ever start off with like a Valkyrie in front of a hog when you played trifecta?
When I played Trifecta, if I have Valcog, sometimes I would play it. I think 8 elixir on the first push is definitely a lot, especially if it's Hog Valkyrie, because if they play a minion horde, you're gonna lose to 5, and you're gonna get barely any damage. Like 2 ground troops. I don't like to do 2 ground troops. That's why the Ice Golem is cool. Even though it's not a air troop, it does damage to air troops. I would agree that I'm an aggressive player. I've always been a hog player, and I do tend to start the games out with probably like a 6 elixir push, unless I don't have like a hog in my starting hand, and then I'll start it from the back. I don't think there's any set amount. I think 6 or 7 is like I'll definitely start games off with Ice Golem, Hog, and an Ice Spirit. I don't think that's too much. By the time they react and they get over to your side, you're going to be filled up again.
Are you ever thrown out and leaving yourself broke on the first push? I probably don't. I always find like myself good with my hand in my cookie jar, type scenario if I end up, doing an all-in push right off the back, even though it looks a little juicy.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do a 10 elixir push off the back. I think the most I'll do is 7. So I'll definitely do the Ice Golem, Hog, and Ice Spirit, or sometimes I'll even do a Hog plus Archers behind it. I do tend to always try to pair my Hog up with something behind it. That way it can take out some of their defending units. I don't think I usually send in a lone Hog unless my starting hand is like Tombstone, Hog.
I send the Hog out every once in a while just to see what they got, and if they drop down an Inferno, then I can just build up my elixir back up, and I made them use that, so now I got a big push out. So as the Inferno is dying, so I don't do that every time. I like to do the same thing, but sometimes like I'll get a little caught up, and you'll see some archers or tombstone there, and you put down an ice golem, you're throwing out your fireball, and then now he's got like a giant and some dead elixirs, one elixir skeletons coming your way, beating on your tower, and you're sitting there like with like a dumbfounded look on your face, and that's why like in one of my other videos I was saying making a rule, ye who lightnings first is the first to lose, because I've done that before, like sending a hog and like an ice golem or something like that, and I see like a musketeer and a tombstone or something like that. I'm like, ooh, that looks awesome. Like I'm gonna win the game, like first push, and then like before I know it, he's got a giant bowler musketeer mega minion. I'm sitting there with the tombstone or something.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. I think you made a lot of good points. It's another thing with my gameplay. I don't play with a lot of those big elixir cards. I think just because of the amount of experience I have with the game, I can use these low elixir cards to really get a lot out of them. I don't think you can pick up the game in day one, start doing that. And then I think another good point is, if you know your opponent has Inferno Tower, I think that's the only time I'll send in the Lone Hog, because what I've noticed a lot is, you'll send in that hog, it's 4 elixir, they're going to place an Inferno Tower. Not only did you just gain 1 elixir, but a lot of the times, they'll throw in an Ice Spirit or 1 elixir skeletons, and now all of a sudden you're getting 2 elixir. You're getting a 2 elixir advantage, essentially, for just sending in a lone hog.
Every little bit helps, man. And I tell you what about this 2.8 cycle deck and double elixir time. The big decks might get a lot of speed, but literally you can start throwing down a hog like every 5 seconds with an ice golem in front of it, and it's like once you're like forced to deal with it, because like they can't even get like a whole push together, and if they are, they're losing a tower anyway. It's that's the reason this deck is so good, so good. But yeah, that's it, man. Make them spend more, they spend less, and then catch them off guard, get a big push in. If not, I've even done like a weird pushes with just like a ice golem and archer combo, and they're gonna have to respond to that, because if not, that can take 1,000+ damage off of a tower. So,
right.
Speaking of being a great day for both of us, guess what's in my shop?
Is it the graveyard?
It is not. I'm 18 of 20 on my princess, and I'm gonna sit here and gem this sweet baby up. Oh my god. I got a max princess, dude.
I have a graveyard in my shop, and it's funny because I'm 18 out of 20 on my princess too, but I haven't been buying it from the shop just because I don't use princess.
I know, but the princess is so awesome. Bring back the Mekon deck.
But you gem up 120,000 gold and 100,000 to upgrade that thing.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to grind some grand challenges so we can make some more videos. So guys, I got 17 out of 20 on my log. You can be jealous too. So
yeah, I'm jealous of that because mine's still level 3.
You completely snaked me out of my top USA placement, but that's okay.
Well,
You're a great guy, and I think you deserve it.
we both wouldn't have got it. That number 2 guy. He's Chinese, but he has his settings for.
That doesn't. He's a Chinese win trader account. That doesn't count. So any closing thoughts on how to get better as a hog player, or maybe essentially with this deck, because a lot of people have been looking to my videos to get better as a hog player, get better as a player in general, and just looking for tips. A lot of people are hungry to get better in this game, and they're looking for some actual knowledge.
Yeah, I'll say a quick couple tips real quick. I think it's what you've been hearing. Everybody says this. It's all about practicing, and it essentially is going to come down to your troop placement. I think I was talking about that a lot the last game against B Normal. If you're doing good troop placements, you're getting positive elixir trades. That's what it's going to essentially come down to. And then also figuring out what your opponent has, and then how to use what you have to the best of its ability. So like you were saying with the Ice Golem Archers, sometimes it's really beneficial to do that against certain types of deck. Like, they're going to have to waste a lot of cards just to defend an Ice Golem plus Archer push. But then on other players, I wouldn't necessarily do that. Like, if I know, for some reason I might need my archer to defend, I don't know, minions or something. And then if you know they got goblin, like the goblin barrel skeleton army decks, you really want to make sure you're using your your log and your fireball effectively, because one wrong log or one wrong fireball, you're gonna lose the game. So I think it's just about being aware, troop placement, and just getting those positive elixir traits. But
it's really about the tile placements, and I swear it's like, you know, you could sit there and play the game forever and still not understand, you know, the tile placements, because I think whenever I started playing against you and Bright and people like that, you know, I mean, I was really good already with Trifecta, you know, I was smoking most of the competition out there, but you guys, you know, I think I learned, like, you know, maybe one thing, and sometimes I would learn one thing that you did and one thing that Bright would do, you know, just like I said, like, you know, you were putting the musketeer just like you put your archers there, like, you know, it was just reminiscence of the Trifecta days of, you know, putting the musket on the right side of the tower and then putting the cannon on the left, just not letting them get poison value. You know, it's same rules and concept applies. But you know what, guys, I just realized something while watching this video and watching our replays and listening to Will talk, and we were looking over these. The best tips that we just actually got, and the best way to learn a deck, I just realized, is to watch mirror matches. That's really how you figure out how to work a deck. I mean, yes, you can figure out how to do the meta, but maybe you can check out the placements and you can be like, okay, well, I see how he beat me, and, you know, and where he made mistakes at a lot easier on mirror decks. So maybe grab one of your teammates or one of your clanmates and do a heads-up battle on that, and then you guys can, you know, watch the replays. And it's not always about watching the wins. I know you feel all glorious and stuff, and, you know, you're putting the belt on for being the champion of the world and everything. But if you can slow it down and just look at your losses, then maybe you'll see some of those mistakes of, like Will was saying and like I was saying, of your tile placements, and you can kind of see some of those little corrections and that you can do to become a better player and maybe get that W against that same deck next time. So that was kind of cool. I didn't, you know, I'm sitting here trying to teach people some things. I learned something myself. So mirror deck challenges is where you find the errors and the loopholes of your gameplay. So,
yeah.
Well, Will, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You guys, thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed it, hit Will up on his Twitter. What is your Twitter, Will?
Twitter is WillWinCR. No spaces.
No spaces, and he will win. So, guys, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.